Ever find yourself typing something into a search engine, only to hesitate, rephrasing the question, softening the language, making it sound a little less conspicuous than it was a moment before? Or writing a comment online, reading it back and deciding it isn't worth posting after all? These moments are easy to dismiss as caution or maturity, but taken together, they point to something more structural, a learned form of self-restraint that emerges not from a direct prohibition, but from the persistent awareness of being observed. It all starts with a surprisingly old idea from the 18th century that has become scarier and more relevant than its creator ever imagined. The panopticon. It was designed by the philosopher Jeremy Bentham as the perfect prison. The design is genius, a central watchtower surrounded by a ring of cells. From inside the tower, a single guard can see into every cell. But the inmates can't see the guard. They never know if they're being watched, only that they could be at any second. And the result? The prisoners start doing the guard's job for him. They police themselves. They internalize that constant invisible gaze and behave as if they're always under observation. The possibility of surveillance becomes the ultimate tool of control. Now take that tower and put it in your pocket. Replace the guard with an algorithm and the prison walls with a user interface. Welcome to the digital panopticon, the world we all live in now. Every time you go online, you're stepping into a space where your actions are recorded, analyzed, and stored. It's no secret that platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube collect your data, your search history, what you like, and what you watch. This isn't just for better ads, it's to build a predictive model of who you are and what you'll do next. But the real power of this system isn't what faceless corporations or governments do with your data. It's what the knowledge of the surveillance does to you. It creates a psychological chilling effect. This awareness of being monitored triggers a state of self-censorship, fundamentally changing how you behave. Think about it. How many times have you skipped clicking on a controversial article, avoided searching for a sensitive health question, decided against liking a political page? Not because you disagree with it, but because you don't want to be on that list. This isn't just some feeling. Studies after the Edward Snowden leaks revealed the extent of government surveillance and found that online searches for terms known to be monitored by governments dropped significantly. People didn't just become more private, they became less curious. They actively started avoiding information. These are the unseen bars. Every hesitation, every deleted draft, every avoided click is you reinforcing your own cage. Piece by piece, you're building a more compliant, predictable, and safer version of yourself. This curated self is less likely to stand out or cause trouble. It's also less authentic, less curious, and a whole lot less free. You become your own warden, and the scariest part? Most of us never even realize we're doing it. So, how did this prison get built? Well, there wasn't one single architect. It's the result of a powerful mix of corporate greed, government interests, and good old-fashioned social pressure. The whole system is designed to make you predictable, manageable, and of course, profitable. The corporate architects, platforms like Facebook, TikTok, and Google run on an attention economy. Their business model is to keep you scrolling, and they do it by creating a personalized reality just for you. The algorithms don't just give you what you want. They actively shape what you'll do next. It's a feedback loop of validation where likes and shares trigger little dopamine hits that keep you hooked. This system acts as a super panopticon where algorithms profile you not just for ads, but to subtly enforce conformity, rewarding you for fitting in. The result is a documented rise in depression and performative exhaustion, especially for younger generations who have grown up inside this digital world. Then you have the government architects. AI-driven surveillance, tools like public facial recognition and predictive policing are now more powerful than ever. They don't just watch, they predict, and by predicting they create self-fulfilling prophecies. If an algorithm labels a community high risk, it gets more policing, which leads to more arrests, which in turn proves the algorithm was right all along. This pressure extends into our jobs too. The boom in remote work brought a boom in bossware workplace surveillance software. We're talking keystroke loggers, activity trackers, and even webcam monitoring. A 2021 survey showed that a whopping 40% of monitored workers reported heightened stress. They felt this constant pressure to perform busyness, doing things like jiggling their mouse just to appear active. It's a huge cognitive burden that leads straight to burnout and kills trust. Finally, and maybe most sneakily, there are the social architects. Us. We curate our online lives into a polished, ideal version of ourselves. We've all become performers for a perceived audience, constantly observing each other. This creates immense social pressure to conform. Groupthink gets amplified, and dissenting opinions are often punished with social exile. Research in the Journalism and Mass Communication Quarterly confirmed that people are way less likely to voice a minority opinion online if they know they're being watched. Fearing isolation not just from the government, but from their own peers. This spiral of silence creates a false consensus, making the majority opinion seem way more dominant than it actually is. When you combine all these forces, the prism becomes internalized. The external pressure from companies, governments, and our peers becomes an internal voice of self-regulation. This is the rewiring of your brain in action. Your thought patterns literally begin to change. You start censoring yourself before you even type. You subconsciously steer your curiosity away from dangerous topics. You end up with a fragmented identity, the real you and the online you. You're carrying the weight of being perpetually watched, and that burden reshapes your personality, your creativity, and your very sense of self. The invisible prison is real. It is not a single institution or authority, but a network of algorithms, surveillance, and social pressure that encourages people to internalize its logic. Over time, it conditions us to choose compliance over curiosity and performance over authenticity, often without conscious awareness. But this system has an inherent limitation. Its influence depends on remaining unnoticed. Once the mechanism becomes visible, its grip weakens. Conditioning can be learned, and it can also be unlearned. The next time you hesitate before clicking, posting, or searching, pay attention to that pause. Ask where it comes from. What feels risky about the thought you're about to express, and why? That moment of hesitation is not trivial. It is a point of contact between external systems and internal restraint. And recognizing it is the first step towards reclaiming agency within environments designed to limit it.